everybody, coming at you with all my might. It is Smite. How you guys doing today? I hope you are having a wonderful day, because I am. I got a chance to get out here and ride on the motorcycle. Now, I had a lot of my friends comment about how I rode a couch. I have a 2013 BMW F800GS with a Scott steering stabilizer, and I got a Sergeant seat. So those are what I consider on the thing about comfort. The GS suspension in the front is notoriously soft. I need to upgrade that. But we got the fuel tank in the back, so it's not up here, not up there in between your legs. I've been riding this bike for almost 5 years now, and I really didn't understand what people were, when they would say, oh, you're riding the couch, until now. I bought myself a 2020 Zero SRF electric motorcycle, and I have been riding that back and forth to work for the past week, and then just going out for rides and stuff like that. I haven't really touched this bike in a long time. After getting accustomed to the Zero, getting back on this, holy crap, I did like 67 miles on the Zero in one setting, and my butt hurt, my back started to hurt, I was stiff, my forearms were shot. And then I get on this, and it's just like, okay, we already went like 20-30 miles, and most of it's been off-road so far, and my butt don't hurt. I got this nice Sergeant seat, and I got that when I got the bike, so I don't really know the stock GS seat and how that feels, because I did a test ride with the GS seat, and he's like, oh, if you buy the bike, I'll give you that seat. So I'm like, oh, sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say no to a $500 seat, because even so, I could sell it and pocket the $200 and buy a $300 stock. So I believe I took for granted the couchness of the F800GS. Holy crap. It really is quite plush. And it's funny now, because we've done some larger rides with my buddies on either 400s or 650s, and I forget, like, when you're out all day on a motorcycle, doing this type of riding, whether it be, a nice easy dirt road, or, semi-technical road dirtness, something that's not crazy. I mean, some people don't find that comfortable to do on the GS, and I respect that. It does take a lot of effort to manhandle this across that terrain. But then I get on the highway, and I do 75 the whole entire time, and you just sit back and you relax. I'm like, holy cow, the handlebar position is pretty wide, so you got a wide, comfortable stance. And like I said, I'm only now really acknowledging that, simply because I got a bike that's 100% different. Now, I'm not saying the Zero is a bad bike. I'm saying it's good for a different purpose. One thing I did notice, I used to think this thing was, pretty flickable, but holy crap, after riding on that bike for a while, I got on this and I'm like, okay, you could turn now, It's like, you actually have to make it turn. Most people who have two bikes understand this, but I really haven't had a higher performance street bike in a long time. I had my wife's SV650, but the geometry was all messed up on that because it had bar risers when it was supposed to have clip-ons. And I didn't really ride it long enough. It was only like here and there jaunts. I mean, I've been riding the Zero consistently for like a week straight. But however, I do, like I said, I enjoy the compromise, honestly, because this bike might be a bit to handle in tough situations, as you can see if that last video where I got stuck on a log. However, when the road's mostly easy, it's a dream. You just sit back. I have this, like I said, it goes all back to that seat, and the other guys on the 400s are like, oh man, this sucks. I'm like, okay, well, I can go do for another 100 miles. And another thing I take for granted is the fuel capacity. I mean, I can have 160 miles to a tank. That's pretty darn good for adventure bike. I mean, granted, you can get the Adventure and have a whole lot more, but then it goes back to weight. Then you're carrying all that weight in gas, and then there's other people who say, well, just don't fill the gas tank all the way up. Then why would you even bother getting the Adventure if you're not going to fill the gas tank? Yeah, I mean, it all has different purposes. Like, my dad went out to Maine, and he was literally on a road for 100 miles with no gas. So I guess if you're in those situations where you're crossing vast majority of areas, you really want all that extra fuel. But I've already been on a ride where one of the 400s, he ran out of gas. Luckily, our guy on the 650, he's always packing fuel, so it worked out. He lent some gas to the buddy. Me, I still had 100 miles left on my tank. I don't miss the days of the DR. That was hard when you're trying to adventure ride and you only have a 100-mile range. That was pretty brutal, and that's why we upgraded those to the extended tanks. But where the tank is on the DR, it's up in between your legs. It really adds a lot of weight up there, so that's why I appreciate this bike, because the weight is over the rear tire for the most part with your fuel, so you don't really even notice it. I'm just glad I now have the opportunity where I can have two bikes, so I can appreciate each one for its individuality and its ability to just decimate the terrain in which I want to destroy. Such as, I mean, this thing just eats dirt roads. It's awesome. My Zero, obviously with 140 pounds of torque, it does pretty well on the street. But big thumbs up to all you other couch riders out there shredding it on the GS. I mean, there are some that really like to do the hardcore dirt, but my whole reasoning for getting the Zero is because I threw up straight up knobbies on this sucker, and I love how the GS performs with knobbies. It's just so much fun, and it literally digs holes. Like when you put this much horsepower and weight, because believe it or not, my KTM 300 makes roughly the same horsepower as this. Maybe this makes like 15 to 20 more horsepower than a KTM 300, but the difference between a KTM and this is probably about 200 pounds, and you feel that, especially when you get hung up on a log. But that's my observations. I had a blast riding today, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you want to support the channel, the best thing you could do is share the video. But if you want to support monetary, I have a link to my dad's vinyl shop on eBay and a link to Revzilla affiliate link. The affiliate links support the channel with no extra cost to you, so thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a wonderful day. God bless.